Hello and welcome back to a long overdue episode, issue number 16 of Beyond the Cowl.
Dude, yeah, it's really feel like it's been quite a while because it has been quite a while. Been on a little hiatus. You and I both been busy. So it feels really good to get back into it.
Well, everything opened back up, so that means that my
Oh
job
yeah,
and your job, we went back to work, and it's just been a nonstop schedule of you working full time again. I picked up a third job, so it's like everything has been happening, and it's just been literally chaos.
dude, and literally today the mask mandates or the restriction mandates kind of have been lifted, so it's more like everything's opening up for the first time in forever. Today's the what is it, 15th? The 15th.
15th, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So
it.
it's
I mean, at
you know
work.
what
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm excited about though?
What are you
What
excited for?
that means is cons are coming back around.
So, okay. So, what's the details of Comic Con doing a special event during Thanksgiving?
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't think that's a good idea because people are gonna. This is the first time they've been out. They're gonna want to or are able to get out, so they're gonna want to spend time with their families. I would imagine a lot of artists and creators and big names. I mean, some of them might not even want to go because they want to spend time with their families too. So it's more like one of those things where it's like I think San Diego's trying to do something like not to miss this whole year, but at the same time, I don't think it's the greatest idea ever. um, as far as the date, but we haven't had San Diego Comic Con now going on. This is gonna be the second year without it.
Two
So
years.
yeah, but what that means. I mean, it's really gonna be a lot of hungry people wanting to bust the doors and at 2022.
Do you think they're gonna allow more like extra tickets on top of people who've rolled over and kept their badges like you and I have? Do you think they're gonna let
Uh,
more people in to make more
ooh,
money?
I can't imagine so, man. I think they really want to be careful. If it's me, I'm only letting the people with the badges that have had what is it since 2020 badges.
2019
Now
was, yeah. 2019 was the last year I went to Comic Con.
yeah, so I really can't imagine they're gonna open up full blown again because it's just such an insurge of so many people from all over the place. But at the same time, we're a year removed now. It's gonna be a year removed now from the pandemic. So who knows? I just don't think they should do it. But that's just me being greedy because I want I have a badge and I don't want anybody else to be
Well,
getting in there
the
fighting me
last
for exclusives.
2019, I just felt like there were so many more people than normal, and usually Sunday for me is the best day. That's like my last minute walk around, last minute collectibles, last minute just soaking in the smell and soaking in
Yeah.
just being there before everything closes and I'm home by 5. And I dude, last Sunday or the last Sunday of the con in 2019, I was so mad. I was like, "There's so many fucking people here. Why is it so busy on a Sunday?" And it's because so many people wanted to try it, and so they got passes just for Sunday. So I'm hoping it's going to be at this point, even if it's a ton of people, if it's just only the badge holders, I don't care. I'm just excited just to be amongst my peers and walk around and just have that smell. Oh, I miss the
Dude,
con smell.
I miss Comic Con so much, man. Like it's almost like when you're a kid and you have when birthdays meant something, and you go somewhere you really wanted to go, like I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese or some place that you really wanted to go. It's that to me is like what cons are. So I'm super excited to get back in the swing of things.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope it's gonna be fun. I mean, there's so many things going on that are gonna be like brought up. I think next year Comic Con is gonna be record breaking because of movies and shows and things that have been set up for the following year, trailers and all that stuff. Because I think Batman comes out in 2000 in March, so it's gonna come out before Comic Con. But I mean, the Flash movie,
Yeah.
all the shows for HBO Max, Marvel's, Thor: Love Thunder, and all this stuff is gonna come out, and we're gonna see like first time stuff at this con, and it's just gonna be
Pardon me.
huge.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. There's so much that has gone on between now in 2019, which was the last Comic Con that we've had. But there will be more Comic Cons between. Like I think New York Comic Con is still going on this year, so that's the second biggest one relative to San Diego Comic Con.
Hmm.
Um, it's just gonna be a lot of a lot of comic book fans and cosplayers and everybody in that realm of people just eager to get back into the scene, man. It's just, and it's going to be interesting to see now that everybody's going to be trying to squeeze in a Comic Con at the end of the year because now everything's opening back up. So, you know, it might be back to back to back Comic Cons towards the end of this year.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of get more details because I mean, this if everything opens, I mean, everything is opening back up, but we'll know more details coming into like September, October, because that's when we'll start getting emails for early admissions or general admissions. Will be, I think, usually October, November. So we'll be getting that kind of stuff by the end of this year. So we'll have an idea if they're going to be allowing open tickets, because I'm sure there's people who held their badges for the first year and then didn't held them the second year. So maybe that's the people they'll be like, hey, we're gonna let these people have another attempt. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't think if you didn't hold your badge and you lose it, I think you're back to general admission. I don't think you're gonna have a badge holder or returning Comic Con advantage.
Yeah. And, like I said, there's a lot of unknown right now. So this is all new, opening back up, and everybody's trying to get the machine back going again. So there's a lot of, and I think San Diego Comic Con is going. It's going to be virtual again, which sucks because last year was virtual. It was like the most horrible Comic Con, not horrible, like the most horrible, but
It was the worst.
I
It
wasn't.
was the most horrible.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in it
Like
at all.
I worked. I mean, I was bummed because all the exclusives I wanted I couldn't get. Which the only exclusives that really caught my eye were pop figures, which I'm not a pop collector, so like I don't get excited for pop. I don't line up for the booth. I don't try to get to the pop party. Freddy's Funko party. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm not a big fan of Funko Pops. I like them, but I'm not a diehard fan. But the
Yeah,
Stanley one I really wanted, but it's just there was no exclusives last year besides some bottleneck posters and all that stuff. Like I didn't see anything that just made me just like feel like I have to wait in line for 40 minutes. I have to request this night off to sit online and try to get it.
yeah. It was like a far cry of a Comic Con. So, um, but interesting enough, you said Funko. They're starting to get in the card business now. Have you heard about that? Where the card market is exploding, and now they're going to be coming out with the I think Panini's uh, issuing their cards because the card market is just so hot right now. There's so many collectors in that aspect of collecting is the card market.
Yeah. So it's so funny because what happened with the card market, I only know a little bit of it because a lot of the kids I work with and I've been paying attention a little bit more to Pokemon because I've noticed that Pokemon cards are getting harder and harder to find. And you got guys
Yeah.
like, for example, like Logan Paul, right?
Oh yeah.
Logan Paul went in and bought like first set edition boxes for $250,000, like 250 grand, and then he live streamed with an official like PSA person there. So he would literally open cards, boom, 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 and get like a Charizard, a Venusaur, a Blastoise. Those cards are worth like tens and thousands and tons of money, and literally have it graded there. And then he had it actually graded as a special Logan Paul Mint 10. So he had like, I mean, when he fought Mayweather, he literally had a
Came out with that.
yeah, he had a Charizard wrapped around his neck that he opened. He spent, I think, like $2 million buying card boxes and opening them live on stream. And even if you go to Target, there's signs that said like limit one thing per customer. You can't even find them. You can barely find Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a day and age we're living in right now where it's like we're in the middle of a speculation age with with comic books, with baseball cards, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards. Just everybody just grabbing everything and holding on to it. So it's more like you got these new people coming into the market. I don't know, like we've said before, the comic book market where they're just prices on even modern day. books are exploding like something is killing the children, like, and because I think remember when The Walking Dead came out, that was like the modern day monster. When that one hit, that book hit like 1,000. But now you have something is killing the children. Issue number one came out last year or the year before, I can't remember. It's brand new. It's already pushing $1,000, and there's no announcement, there's no development of it yet. But imagine when that happens, how much more it's going to push it. Just like Ultimate Fallout 4 with the first Miles Morales,
Mm-hmm.
where that book's just out of control too. It's just you see in this day and age, nostalgia is running wild, and you see all these collectors and new people coming into the hobby just throwing money left and right, just pushing books, cards, everything, the pricing on everything way up.
And you know what what I've learned too, and you see in the pattern, you know when things are getting really really good for the book is when they start making them into compendiums. Because I saw you sent me something about the first issue becoming super super rich right now in the market. But I also saw something recently about how they're starting the volume one compendium for Something Is Killing the Children, for like the first like
Yeah.
half of it. Um, I'm looking up right now. I'm trying to look up issue one to see how much is going for right now.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, cover A, the graded 9.8s are in the thousands range, but you have to look at the creators because a person that I've kind of been behind since the beginning was James Tynion, and if you go back, you can hear us talking about James Tynion and his creation, like Somebody's Killing Children and Wind, and now The Nice House on the Lake. Everything he touches is money. So it's if you're not behind him, you probably should be, because everything that he's doing is just turning into gold. He's got the Midas touch for whatever reason. He's like Robert Kirkman or Mark Millar. These guys just have a hot hand, and they have a foot in Hollywood where a lot of their projects are getting optioned, and they have first look deals or whatever, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all these series coming to TV as series that just makes the market turn a little bit faster, and,
Have
and pushes the price.
have they announced Something Is Killing the Children series, or in
Mm.
talks of creating this into being I mean, I think
Oh no.
this would be a great series. I still need to read this. Right now,
Yeah.
Something Is Killing the Children number 1, 9.8 cover A first print
Yep.
is 1,295 on eBay.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what like Go Collect says. Like what's like the recent issue that's being sold for. That's
Yeah.
insane though, bro. Like,
No, I know, man. And then Donny Cates is also he has a hot hand too, because his God Country was in development way back when, or it was optioned, but now there's new news that it's actually in development now. So the God Country, that book has gone way up as well. So it's just, you know you got to be kind of ahead of the game a little bit.
yeah. Last sale in June of 2021. So this book at like at a 9.6, it literally shot up within recently. The most recent book was 675, sold in June. They had 25 books sold for over $500.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane. There's 1,094 covers, 9.8 graded, and then 1,015 universal.
dude, I have 20 of the cover B's. I guess on the wrong cover. Cover A is a hot one right now, but cover B's catching up to it. As of right now, but cover A is still.
The Lee Chung cover.
No, the for Somebody's Killing the Children. Is it? No.
Is
It's I
it?
think it's a Werther Dell'Edera cover. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the cover A. But I have the Final Order Cutoff variant, which was a Jenny Frison cover.
Mm,
So I guessed on the wrong cover. So
hey,
I thought because Frison was a hard isn't hot artist. It was a Final Order Cutoff, so it was like late notice. So I was like, for sure this one's gonna be the hot one. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You gamble, you guess. I still came up, but cover A is definitely the prize winner right now.
It's so funny. I had someone ask me, and this has been such a big thing the last couple of months, and I forgot to tell you this as a funny joke. People come up to me and they're like, "Hey, man, are you in Bitcoin? Are you collecting Bitcoin?" And I was like, I go, "No, I actually don't invest my money in Bitcoin." They're like, "What do you invest your money in?" I go, "I invest my money in collectibles, comics, and yeah, that's my rush is looking for books and covers and um,
Yeah.
and trying to invest in that kind of and that stuff." And they're like, "What? Like that doesn't sound smart at all." And I go, "Let me ask you a question. You ever heard of original art?" And people are like, "What?" And I tell them your story. I'm like, my buddy collects original art. He spends his money, but it's a lot of his stuff is already doubled, and he's the only person who owns this item. So
Yeah.
think about it. And then people are like, "Oh, that's actually pretty smart." And I'm like, "Yeah." Going back on the Magic the Gathering card thing, I forgot to mention to you. So I read this article. This dude was a stock market guy, and he started seeing how during quarantine the collectibles and cards and comics have just skyrocketed. So he invested 8 grand into buying an original alpha pack for Magic. He looked everywhere on the internet how to weigh it, how to see if he can see what cards were. Because if he debated about opening it and attempts to find a card that was worth more than the pack, but he got too scared and decided, you know what? Worst case scenario, the pack itself will age and get more value, and I can sell it later down the road. On
Yeah.
accident, he opened it on accident. He ripped it on accident. So he said, "Well, 8 grand down in the trash." Opens it. He gets a. I don't know if you ever heard of this card. It's called a Black Lotus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
He got
it's one of the biggest cards
it.
it's one of the biggest card I think in Gathering, right?
It was from the beta set, not the. No wait, it was from the beta set, not the alpha set. So it wasn't the Black Lotus, but this certain Black Lotus still sells for $16,000 and more for just the beta card. And so he opened a Black Lotus. They're still out there, man. I'm telling you, there's
Yeah.
someone, and I swear, someone in their attic of their great grandpa or someone's great grandfather or whatever has a trunk that's never been opened, and there's an Action comic issue number 1 in there that's just sitting there unaware to the world.
Well, did you hear about the Promise pedigree that just came out from CGC?
Uh-uh.
Speaking of that, man, it's this. So there's this collection that just came out. Everybody's been talking about it lately. It's called the Promise Collection, and CGC announced it a couple weeks ago. Let me see if I can find the article. Yeah, that's right. CGC is proud to recognize the 61st pedigree collection called the Promise Collection. At just over 5,000 comics, the group is one of the largest pedigree collections that CGC has ever graded, with many of the highest grade Golden Age comics known. Runs of All American, Archie, All Select, All Winners, Captain America, blah blah. There's just a bunch of titles. Superman and numerous other titles from the 1940s were incredibly well preserved, and many of the books have markings which together establish the collection's pedigree. So this just literally came out as speaking of finding just somewhere sitting in somebody's attic. This collection, this pedigree just came out. Probably this is the perfect timing for something like this to happen because just the market is so hot right now, and then you got all these books, these old books, the 1940 books, and pristine. You're talking about 9.6s, 9.4s, 9.3s. You know what I mean? Just like just incredible copies of old books, like and 5,000 of them.
Oh my god. Do you
Dude,
think
I
that,
can't even I can't even imagine how much this collection is gonna go for. It's just it's just what it's worth to you, at
yeah,
that point. 9.6 and 9.8 or 9.4s,
if you
that
have
old of a book?
if you have that big of a collection, like you have multiple copies, do you sell them as a bundle or do you try to sell them individually?
No, I think they're gonna go to heritage auctions. They're gonna be auctioned off, but it's really gonna be interesting to see. I mean, everybody in the comic book market is gonna be watching these books and what they're doing in the market because I mean, there's got to be so many that are gonna set records. And I can't imagine how much this total collection, when all said and done, is gonna be worth. You know, it's just out of control.
But you cut out a little bit. Say that one more time.
It's just gonna be interesting seeing how much, all these books, this total collection.
Is gonna
Excuse
go
me.
for?
Yeah, when it's all said and done, what the total cost is on all this, because anybody who's got money and is in the market is gonna be watching these books, and if not bidding on these books. I mean, this is not like $1,000 book. These are big boy books, man.
Ooh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine like that's some serious like fuck you money. That's some serious money to be like, oh, I'm gonna bid on this. I can afford to
This is
bid on this.
Well, when it's all said and done, the owner of this collection, well, it was his brother that owned the collection, and the man's brother, I guess his brother passed away. He had the collection. He brought it out to light. So now this is kind of, when it's all said and done, I gotta imagine this is generational wealth, where this is gonna be, you're good for generations after you sell all these books.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, can you imagine like your brother? He had to know what he was sitting on, like sitting on a literal gold mine. And can you imagine you're the person who finds it and sells it, and like literally your family, your family's family, and their family are gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the story behind it. Like on CGC's website, in the early 1950s, a young man by the name of Robert was drafted by the army to fight in Korea. His younger brother, Junie, enlisted in the hopes of keeping watch over Robert. Junie told his brother that if anything happened to him in battle, Robert should take care of his beloved collection of comic books, and that's why it's called the Promise Collection, because that's what happened. He
Wow.
took care. So it's like that's part of like the story, man. Like, it's not just the collection and how great of shape all these books are in, but the story and the background to it too.
That is so crazy. I love that. I love that. That like that alone makes the collection. It's not even about the comics anymore. You're buying someone's promise that was held, and here we are, you know, 80 something years later, 90 years later, and it's oh, that is so neat. I did not hear about that. I gotta look this up.
Dude, yeah. And I mean, it's just incredible. The shape of the books, the age of the books. You can't say enough about this collection. So,
Ah, yes, right
uh,
here, the Promise Collection, one of the greatest comics finds of all time. It came out in
yeah,
May. I can't believe I
that's what
missed
I'm
this.
saying. Like when you say people like having books in their attic, they're still out there. Like there's books, there's collections still out there just waiting to be found. Even though we're in 2021, you might not think that, but you might think everything's been dug out, but it hasn't in all reality.
I told someone as a joke that when I die and I get cremated, I'm gonna have my comics burned with me. My kids don't get any of these.
Yeah, I know. I'm taking them with me, man. Yeah.
Wow, it shows like what was in the collection. I mean, you got Archie, you got Detective Comics, issue number 140. Uh, this is crazy. This is remarkable.
Yeah, it really is, man. I mean,
Batman Comics volume 3 number 2. That's so cool. That's neat.
yeah.
I gotta read the story later. That is super neat.
No, for sure, man.
Speaking of comics, you have your eye on any covers coming out either recently or coming out soon?
Oh, man. The market right now, I hate it because I'm done with retailer exclusives or hot covers, and then you have these retailers coming out with just like, I got sucked into the Nice House on the Lake, #1 by Wanted. Oh, there, hear my motorcycle going by?
Oh, someone is
No, I
in need
wasn't.
of saving.
Yeah, I know. Give me the wipies. Um, anyways, uh, yeah, the Nice House on the Lake by James Tynion. They get Wanted Comics had an exclusive that I just got suckered into buying. So that was one of the ones that I had literally just got. I bought a bunch of the um, I think Batman 108 covers, like different retailers, because of
Hmm.
Miracle Molly.
Yeah, I
So
was able to. I found a shop in Glendale, that I was able to order the like the hand sketched cover.
yeah,
So I was able to find that. I actually and so for the Scarecrow version, I bought it through Graham Cracker, and it was like $50, and I bought it.
Yeah.
And this one I found just a local comic book shop in Glendale, and they shipped out their comics, and I found it for $34.
Oh, that's a steal, man.
So I ordered and I got it in the mail. So those are, as of now, those are my probably my top two pieces in my new collection I started. And then I just pre-ordered most of the DC Pride covers. Just because
Ah,
I don't think they're gonna be like worth a ton of money down the road, but I just think they're just a kind of a neat little piece, especially in like how like everything is changing and like the times and all that stuff. I thought it'd be just kind of a nice little piece to have in the collection. So I pre-ordered a bunch of those covers.
well, I think with everything going on in the world, and inclusion is a big thing nowadays. So with the pandemic, the lockdowns, and then you know the protests going on, Black Lives Matter movement, just everything in general has been kind of more brought to light, and people are more inclusive now and aware. So I think it's just a sign of the time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So DC came out with those Pride cover. I bought a couple of those myself. So I thought there were a couple cool ones that I got. Um, oh, and speaking of DC, did you hear about the merger with Discovery and Warner Media?
No, I
Ye-
didn't hear that.
Okay, because Warner Media, they literally just got bought out by AT&T, a couple years ago, and now there's news of, Discovery merging with Warner Media. So AT&T announces a $43 billion deal to merge Warner Media with Discovery. You know, Discovery. I mean, I don't know if you watch the Discovery Channel, but there's interesting shit on there that you never would think is interesting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
God, like they have the most like captivating like planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like, they make the most boring shit the most interesting thing you can watch.
I'm actually
You know what I mean?
I'm about to get Discovery Plus because I want to I really want to continue that 90 Day Fiance single life because I'm a big fan of Big Ed.
Yeah.
And so that's crazy. I hope that if that merger happens, I'm hoping Discovery will be free on HBO Max. But no, I didn't hear that. That's interesting that they're doing that. I wonder if they're trying to expand their market and trying to get a different. I don't know. Do like a more hysterical view
Ugh.
or angle. I don't know. That's kind of as it's interesting.
I don't know. It might not be good because then you're just changing so much. Like you just AT&T just bought Warner Media, and now you're changing again, where you have a whole new set of big wigs coming in. So it's who knows if it's good or not. But I mean, I think it'll be good. It's like here we have Batman in his natural habitat.
Hmm.
You know, about to take down a man dressed as a clown as we close in.
Oh my god. It's like, as we can see here, we see the wild Batman perching over the gargoyle, looking down at a beautiful Gotham City.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, that would
do
be
you see what's
so
going down there? Clown himself. Now, these clowns are very, very dangerous. You do not want to get close to these clowns if you ever see them in person. But luckily for the local Batman, these are just a typical snack. Like something like that, random.
Dude, that would be so, dude, that would be so awesome. Like even like a comedy about on Batman and Discovery taking over Warner Media. That'd be such a like the way you did it right there. Now if you could just like create something to go along with that voice,
Mm-hmm.
just that scene right there. Oh, that's money.
They're so Warner Brothers and Warner Media in general, they're definitely trying to reach out. I mean, the one thing that DC has on lock that I think is superior to others is definitely animation. I think it's super interesting that they're also, we talked about it a couple episodes ago, but they're definitely um reaching into like audio media. Like they're doing a
Yeah.
Batman podcast series. Like they're almost going backwards. Instead of going streaming, they're doing like a Spotify radio show that's supposed to be a little bit more like Adam West comedic, but it's interesting. Like they're branching out different avenues. I mean, who knows what kind of superhero content they might try to put on Discovery.
Dude, I want to see them kind of follow suit with what Marvel's doing as far as, not like C-list characters where they're getting their own shows. like Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you have Loki. You know what I mean? Like that'd be cool, man. I think that's the route you go with. But who knows? It's Marvel knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
so it's hard to compete with them.
Have you
You can't. It's hard to put out shows as good and high quality as Marvel does. But I'd like to see DC try and put their hand in and go in that direction.
have you tried uh have you seen Loki yet?
I seen the first episode.
I haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was good. You watch it.
Oh, I'm
Is
gonna
it?
watch it. I'm kind of waiting. Falcon and Winter Soldier was so good, and then the last episode just I got so I loved it, but at the same time I was just like I felt like it was so disconnected. Have you heard the rumor that like the original story was supposed to be based on a pandemic happening, and then the pandemic actually happened, so they cut that out of the Winter Soldier and Falcon storyline?
No, I didn't hear that.
I guess my buddy told me that. And I don't know if it's true or not. I never really followed up on it. If anyone knows, please comment and let us know if it's true or not. But apparently,
Yeah.
the original storyline where they were going to fight a virus affecting the world, and then the pandemic happened, and they were like, "Ooh, no, we're not gonna do that because we don't want there to be any issues of people freaking out with the pandemic." So they cut that. So I think Loki's going to be way more way more better than Winter Soldier, but I haven't watched it yet. Like I said,
Well,
I watched The Witcher yesterday. I'm
yeah.
obsessed. Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out too. I haven't checked that one out yet, so I haven't watched it. But Loki, the first episode, I was almost gonna say issue of Loki was really good. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple episodes here, um, coming up. But and then the speaking of that, Avengers Campus just opened at Disney.
Yes, I saw that. You see that
These
there?
Kevin Feige was there. Did you see the opening day or
No, I didn't.
Kevin Feige? What's Falcon's name? His real Anthony Mizimaki or
Yes,
something like that.
I saw Anthony McElroy there, and he goes, "Who deserves to be over here is Captain America." And then the actor came in dressed up as him as Captain America. That was sick. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
Dude, they really put on a show there, but I really want to go because I went to Disney, but it wasn't open yet. So when I passed by California Adventure, when I went in, I passed by it. I was like, dang, I can't wait till this opens, and now it's finally open. So another reason to go back to Disney.
I know. I'm like I really want to get tickets to go, but I don't think Jess wants to go, and that's
Well, well, now they just opened everything back up. So you, when I went, it was like there was not a lot of people. The longest line was to get into the parking lot.
oh really?
Yeah, dude, it was. Um, you know, I'd never seen Disneyland like that before. It was just that empty. Well, maybe it's a day that I went on a Monday, so maybe it was that a day that I went. But we were able to get on everything that we wanted to get on, within 10 to 15 minutes
How
was
nice
the
was
longest.
how nice was that to be at Disneyland and there not be anyone?
It was weird. It was definitely nice though. I'll tell you that. It's definitely nice, a little weird, but I liked it. I just like
Nice,
being back. I just like being back there, to be
like
honest with you.
just like back doing whatever.
Yeah, and taking my son. My son, he's 2.5. So last time we took him, he couldn't even walk. So now he watches all this. He watches Mickey Mouse. He watches these things. And when we took him, when you walked through the gates, he had Mickey Mouse there waving at everybody,
Yeah.
and the look on his, he just stopped and he couldn't move, and his mouth was open. It was just like, dude, it felt good to be back there, man.
How was he? Like, did he understood? Like, he understood everything, right?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like last time he couldn't even walk, and this time now he's watching these cartoons. He's looking at all these characters, and Disney's such a big property that when he's seen it in real life, he didn't know what to do because now he's able to understand a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Whoa, is that Mickey Mouse?" You know what I mean? Like it's one of
That's
those deals.
that's super cool.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Nice. Are you speaking of for collecting? I'm just browsing through pre-orders right now, trying to come up with questions. Are you gonna get any of the King Spawn?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get a couple different covers of that that series that I think because they're going into we're approaching the Spawn universe coming now, right?
Yeah, July, right? Or is it
Yeah,
June?
I can't remember. I think it's July.
So I just right now I just threw in my pre-order basket. By the way, I did it as a test on things from another world that you recommended, and I started using their pre-order service.
Yeah,
I will never buy comics another different way. I know that they don't have every cover, and I know they don't have every release, but for like the basic stuff that I want, bro, it's so convenient. I just literally hit pre-order, and I have all like the shipping stuff that I want. And dude, I'll come home and I'll look, oh, I got a comic today. I didn't even realize that.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I love T-Fall that you're able to pre-order. Sometimes I forget what I order, and then it comes in I'm like, oh, I forgot I ordered that. It's here now though.
Yeah, like I got a couple of Batman covers. Let's see which ones I got. Let me look at my orders. Yeah, I got a couple different variant covers for the one that I pre-ordered that I'm really excited for is the where's it at? I got two Pride covers coming. Was the Jen Bartel Pride? No, what's the one I got? Oh, the Legends of the Dark Knight #1, the
Ooh.
Francisco Francavilla.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Francavilla, I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Frank of Villa.
Francavilla.
Yeah,
I got his cover, and dude, it's so sick. I saw it, I immediately went and bought it.
yeah. I mean, some of these artists, man. If they like, one of my favorites is Francisco Matina, but I mean, he kind of went down after the whole debacle of him like stealing work, but he was been one of my favorite artists. He's a good artist. It's just sometimes I guess when you get lazy and you're doing so many covers, you just I don't know what, but he's I mean when an artist hits with you, it kind of he like Francisco Matina when I seen his artwork, I just immediately fell in love and I just loved his style ever since.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, man. Certain people connect with certain artists.
Oh yeah. Like I actually just bought right now a Batman issue #100 signed by James Tynion. They
Ooh, yeah.
they had one left, and I literally just snagged it right now for 31.99.
Yeah. I mean, and they have some great pricing on there too, especially for the pre-orders for some of the incentive variants.
Yeah.
Their pricing is pretty good. I mean, it's comparable, if not the best, but in my opinion, to Graham Crackers. I think Graham
Ooh.
Crackers on par with them too.
The Legend of the Dark Knight issue #2 cover B, the Riley Rosimo card stock variant. I pre-ordered that thing. I think I pre-ordered that one. It's like the Riddler cover. I pre-ordered
Yeah,
that like 2 weeks ago, and now I just checked and it's sold out.
yeah,
So I that's honestly that's kind of been like I haven't been physically to a comic book shop in probably like 2 months. I've honestly just I look to see what's hot or like what you recommend, and then I just look on League of Geek. I go there to see like what issues are coming out, and then I just look at like the variant covers and try to think, okay, what would be a good cover to get, and I try to see which ones catch my attention, and then I go to different websites and I just been pre-ordering them, and I just do it that way.
yeah.
I'm not.
I was I was trying to get this the Venom 35 issue incentive variants that they were on TFOP for the longest, and then news came out that it was going to be I think the first appearance or a cameo of Dylan Brock as Venom, and I guess that's the direction they're going towards now. Is Dylan Brock, the son of Eddie Brock, is going to be the new Venom. So when that news came out, they kind of went off the website really quick because everybody started buying up the incentives because they had them on there so cheap, and they were on
Hmm.
there forever. I seen them on there, and I was like, damn. I was like, I should have bought one, but
Yeah, I think I
you know,
just saw a Venom 35. Where did I see
yeah,
that
I
at?
I seen the J. Scott Campbell one was still on there on a pre-order for 35. But they have a bunch of the regular covers still on there. But the ones that I wanted was the incentive one of this couple of incentive covers. Um, because now I think Donny Cates is going to he's gonna be writing the Hulk, um who's uh Al Ewing is gonna be writing Venom. So they kind of just switched creative teams on two books that were pretty good to start with it. So I'm looking forward to. I've been collecting Immortal Hulk and Venom since they both got on there. So I'm gonna keep collecting those two titles.
Hang on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 30, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They have 43 different variant covers for Venom 35, the 200th 200th issue.
100th. Yeah.
200th, I can't even say it. They have so many covers. When you see a comic book with that many covers, like how do you even pick which one to collect? Do you buy all of them?
No, you either probably stick with the if it's affordable with the one that's the highest incentive or the best cover art incentive. There's just too many covers. It kind of reminds me of like the '90s and makes me worry that we're in a bubble. But um,
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
I think when it's a big book, they do a bunch of those. They do big book or big issue or like a 200th issue or whatever it is. They go all out. But that's the thing that I hate about Marvel in particular is they just blow out variants, man,
yeah.
on one issue. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
See, I think if I had to pick an issue from this 40 something variant, they have a 1 in 500 Jock Virgin variant, and then they even
Yeah.
have a Patrick Gleason Virgin variant, which that
Are
looks
those
pretty
still
sick.
available?
This is on I'm looking at this on League of Comics. I go here
Oh,
to
okay. Yeah,
find,
yeah.
I write down which ones, and then I start Googling and I start finding sellers who are selling these covers that I want, and I'll buy
Yeah, yeah.
those exclusive covers that I'm looking for.
See, I seen
Um,
all those on T-Fall, and I was just like, I didn't pull the trigger because I was like, you know what, Venom, the last issue, the spec has died on that book. Donny Cates is coming off of it, so Dylan and Noel are dead spec. Just when you thought, like, you know what I mean, like those books are dead in the water. Now all of a sudden, Venom issue number 7 or 9 is because it's debatable, which is the first full appearance of Dylan Brock is shooting way back up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
know,
they have the original cover. They had the Gleason variant. Which actually I'm gonna throw that pre-order on my cart. I'm like literally going. This pre-order thing is literally like the worst thing for me because I'm literally just throwing
yeah,
whatever I want on there.
you better make sure that if you don't really want it, you take it off there before final
I
order cutoff, or you're
Yeah,
stuck with it.
no, I throw I don't I only pre-order the ones that I absolutely want. And they don't all ship out at the same time. So like when
Yeah.
they ship out, that's when I get charged for them. So it's like I don't get charged until they're ready to ship out. So it's not like I'm getting hit with a huge bill for books.
I know, but then when you see the book, you're like, damn it, I ordered that book, damn it.
Yeah, well, I got a little crazy in like the first couple of pre-order issues. I'm like, I need 2 day shipping. And then when I started pre-ordering other Pride comics, I was like, I think I'm just gonna
Nah,
do like the basic shipping,
yeah,
and I'll just get them when I get them. And now I understand when you're like, I don't even know when I get my comics; they just show up one day.
yeah, yeah. I do the same thing. Like you know what? I don't plan. I think a lot of people want them right away because they plan on like either flipping them or sending them CGC and selling them. So that's why they want them right away. For me, it's not. I'm not in it for that. I'm just a collector. So I'm not a flipper. But
No,
you know,
I feel you. I mean, people all the time always ask me, like, what do you plan to do with your comics when you get them? I was like, I keep them. Like, my goal is to have them like on display, like my more rare ones to have for
yeah,
what I want. But no, like I want to put them in a nice case, and the rare ones I want to get graded and mounted on my wall for show. And the other ones I just have for just personal pleasure, I'm just going to just throw them into my attic or have them in my office, and then once in a while I'll open them and I'll just pull them out and I'll just remember all the good things I did.
yeah. It's almost like an extension or expression of yourself. So it's part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least for me, that's how I feel. Like it's these. I've grown up with these characters my whole life, and now I have an opportunity to collect them and have them, as my and part of my collection. The things that I like, I make. That's a good thing about it. You curate your own collection to what you like. You know, and it's just more nostalgia and brings you back to a certain time and a certain period in your life, or even brings you back to a current period in your life that you'll always remember.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love it when people come over and they're like, "Wait," they're like, "You're a big comic book fan?" I'm like, "Wait right here, I'll be right back." And I bring my giant black box and I just set it down. They're like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah. Wait right here, I'll be right back. And then you see a batarang fly right across their face.
Oh, Netco made a Batman the Animated Series replica grappling gun that I almost purchased.
Oh, was it the old school grappling gun from Batman number
Mm-hmm.
one? Ooh.
It was like $30, and I'm like, I should look for this online. I watched some guy who posted a video a week ago about reviewing the toy, and it looks pretty sick.
Oh yeah, man, I bet. The toys now these days, toys and statues, they're on another level.
Oh, I cannot wait to have my home. My dream is to have my recording studio downstairs for voiceover, and when I step out of my booth is where I'll have like just all my statues, collectibles, comics, and just like I want like a little office that just like I can sit there and just like nerd out and just be like I'm gonna cream myself with this amount of collectibles that I have.
Yeah, I'm praying that I win that money out that's out there for vaccinated people.
They're doing money for vaccinated people.
Yeah, the state of California, man, they're
What? I
giving
didn't
out
know that.
millions of dollars for vaccinated people.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like a lottery or something. Who knows? I don't
Maybe that's my luck. So
know.
it's so weird. I yesterday when I texted you that to be I get to be Frank Castle on some guy's fan made Marvel podcast. I literally tweeted saying, "Can someone like what I say? I said got a tweet out and it said, where's my profile? I said." I would love to voice a character for a podcast drama. Just throwing that energy out there. And then literally 5 hours later, update. I'll be a part of a podcast series telling different Marvel hero stories. Hello, Frank Castle.
Oh, that's sick, man.
And now I have the opportunity to portray my version of Frank Castle. Not the hero that I thought I would end up voicing, but put a lot of effort into the audition. And I think I'm the only one who auditioned for it, but eh.
Mr. Castle's a bad mofo.
He is. He is a bad motherfucker. Maybe I'll tweet. I want to win that. I want to win that vaccination money. Update. I won the vaccination money.
Just throwing that energy out there.
Put it on Twitter, and things will happen. Good things will happen to you.
Dude, yeah, if I won that money, I don't know. I don't know if I'd spend it on comic books or just going to cons for the rest of my life.
Oh, bro, go to cons. I would be hosting my own cons.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing your own cons.
Be doing my own thing. While we're wrapping things up, is there anything you wanna give any suggestions or anything you think that they should keep a lookout for?
No, I think like I said, anything James Tynion, any new properties or books he's coming out with I think
Gold.
is always good to look out for. Boom Studios, a lot of their properties are catching fire right now. And then Bad Idea, the gimmick company, uh, they're a good investment for right now. Who knows what the future holds for them? But I think they're rebranding. They play off the gimmick, so that's what gets everybody interested. So those are, I think, those three things, those three publishers or people are something you probably want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for Boom Studios, I just actually realized that I haven't bought any of the Berserkers since issue 1. I bought like 3 different variant covers and a foil cover for Berserker 1, and Berserker 2 no, sorry, Berserker 3 is coming out I think today or tomorrow. And I was like, "Oh, I should probably look up Berserker 2 and 3 and add that so I have the collection."
You know what? I haven't looked at the new 52 Batman because I think people are sleeping on the Court of Owls.
Oh, dude, I'm obsessed with the Court of Owls right now. Like,
I don't know what those books are going for right now, but I just feel like I haven't heard news or anybody hyping the new 52 the first appearance of the Court of Owls in a while, so I feel like people are sleeping on it. That might be something you want to look into.
I'm actually Googling Batman first appearance, Court of Owls first appearance right now.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, the Court of Owls are supposed to be in the new Batman movie, right?
The no, I don't know if they're in the Batman movie, but there's a game I think that they're gonna be in.
Well,
Uh,
no, okay. Well, they're gonna be. I think they might be in the new. Um, I mean, there's always Batman game news, right?
yeah,
Like there's the Gotham Knights coming out, and that's Batman's gone. It's literally the Robins, Batgirl, Red Hood, um, now having to take over Gotham, and you can just switch. What do you want to do? There's a rumors that there's another Arkham Knight series game coming out that's going to be wrapped around the Court of Owls.
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be a big thing or not. With the Batman games, they usually have like the main villain, right, which has been Joker all three games, and then in like Batman Arkham Knight, there's side missions. There's Calendar Man. There's Man Bat, where you're flying and you keep hearing a screech, and then eventually you get attacked by a bat randomly. You can do these awesome characters, super small little side missions, and get to hear some of their story and what they're doing. So Court of Owls could be a side mission. I don't know. The game could be revolved around it. Who knows? But that would be an interesting book to look up.
Yeah. So I think, once they go like either live action or animation, it's game over for those books.
Well, Long Halloween's about to get its 2-part animation. End of June 22nd, part 1 comes out. I think August or September, part 2 comes out. Rated R animated film with Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. He's going to be the voice of Batman for this movie.
Very nice.
So I can't wait for that movie to come out. But Batman, the new 52 first appearance. Watch.
I have all those books. The only one that I had, the one in 100. It's back there, of the issue number 1 of Batman. I wish I would have just kept going with the 1 in 100s, but I was like, you know what? After the first issue, that's what everybody's after. But that whole run was just so epic and so good that I wish I would have just kept collecting those incentives, because they had the 1 in 100s for like the first, I can't remember, 20 issues I think it was, or the first X amount of issues. I wish I would just kept going with those incentives, because I think the new 52, the Court of Owls, everything that Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Jonathan Glapion did is just so, it's not going to be replicated. It's just such a great run that it's only a matter of time before Court of Owls comes to big screen or animation in Talon. So I might look back into getting more of the copies of those issues.
Yeah, I'm literally right now looking up, like as we're talking, I'm looking up this this book. My hands on it before, and this is something that I've learned the hard way with Batman issue number 1, which is the thing I've been talking about almost every episode. It's like I should have bought that book back in February when I found it for $600, and now I can't find them anywhere. They're selling out.
Yeah, the market is just out of control, man. Everybody's speculating on every single thing.
Is the cover that you're talking about? Is it the cover of Batman kind of shapeshifting into a bird, and it's a sketch?
Yeah, it's kind of like with his hand is out, like kind of like weird.
Yeah.
It's black and white. All the incentive ones are black and whites of the cover A.
Yeah, that cover right now is $800 online.
Is that graded 9.8 or is it just raw?
Graded 9.8.
Okay.
I'm looking for ungraded. I'm looking for just the book itself.
That's the way. Look for a good ungraded one and get it pressed and hope for 9.8, because that's what you really want.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, this was great. I'm so glad we were able to finally get another episode in.
I know, man. It's been forever, so it feels good.
So, everyone, thank you for keeping up with us. If you have been, all other episodes are, if you like to listen wherever you listen to, whether it's YouTube or Spotify, Go subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear more of. If you like more game talk, comic book talk, collecting talk, whatever, just let us know what you like and what you want to hear more of.
Absolutely, and we're gonna keep this thing going and try to be more consistent.
Yeah, definitely. Now that we're getting our schedules back in line,
Yeah,
so you guys,
absolutely.
yeah. So I mean, keep collecting and be safe out there, you little Bane Litos.
Later.